What was the message, if you had to describe it, of the book Beautifully Flawed? What did you really want to get across to people?
Well, I think, what I really wanted people to understand is that God is a God of redemption and restoration and preparation. And so when he redeems us, he restores, and he prepares us to go out and do the work for the kingdom. And so that's what I really wanted people to see. I wanted to see that he chose me, that he, even though no matter what had gone on in my life, being a teenage mother to being post-abortive, seeing October Baby, God could literally take this woman that he chose, give her a story, and put her in a platform as long as I said yes for him to use me. And so I really wanted people to say, I can still dream. I can see that God really does take our ashes and exchange them for garland. Look what he's done. Look what he can do in my life. So that was the power of story.
Something interesting. In fact, I remember a conversation that I was having here at NRB recently, and we were talking about second chances. And, how, and I think the enemy would want us to believe that that there may be something in our lives that we have done that somehow would disqualify us from being used by God.
Yeah.
We recognize the redemption story of what Christ has done for us on the cross, and we see that God He is the restorer. He is the deliverer. He is the God of second chances. And what he wants us to do, as you just said, Shari, is to say yes to him and see what he will do. But the enemy would want to hold us back and say, well, you're not worthy.
Yeah.
Look at what you've done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I think he always says you're not qualified, right? You're not qualified. And he's always trying to come back at you and say that your past is too shameful. How can you be used? But the fact of the matter is that that's why Christ died for us. We know that if there was only one, he would have died for that one. And that redemption. And I love in the book of Revelation where it talks about by the blood of the Lamb and by the testimony they will come. And I think that's such an incredible thing to remind us as believers that no matter what, it's not about us. It's really about the testimony that God has given us in our lives and how we get to glorify him. And how do we best do that? We do that because he takes ordinary people. He takes ordinary things or things that have happened in our lives, and he gets to use them for extraordinary things. And so I just feel I'm just blessed to be able to share my story.
Shari Rigby joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio. It's National Religious Broadcasters 2019, the annual convention in Anaheim, California. And this, as you mentioned, you are a resident of California. You have a home here. You also have offices, you said, in the greater Atlanta area. So kind of the best of both worlds, geographically speaking, as you say. And you were in Georgia to also recently film a movie called Overcomer. It's the latest from the Kendrick brothers. And yes, Shari, you have been chosen to play the wife of none other than Alex Kendrick. Now, you play a character named Amy Harrison. His character's name is John Harrison. He is a coach. There's a sporting element here. So tell me about the Harrison family, if you will.
Well, they're fantastic, and I love the story of Overcomer because really, again, it goes back to being an overcomer, right? And so I get to play Amy Harrison, which is, yes, like you said, Alex's wife in the movie, and I'm also a boy mom. I have two boys in the movie, and I'm a boy mom in real life as well. So it just all starts to come together.
It's just art imitates life, imitates art, whatever.
It truly is. My husband also is a coach. But what you get to see is this really incredible family that, they really are a good family, but you get to see the different levels of identity issues that they go through. You see Coach John go through, losing his identity, and you see him regaining that again. You see a strength that he sees that. You see the son also going through, well, I thought my identity was in this sport when, wait a minute, I need to refocus on Christ. As my character, what I love is that I get to really remember that I'm a wife first, that I'm there to support my husband and be that partner and really identify with that character. And it was just incredible to play across from Alex.